It's another episode of the Long Shot podcast. It's been a while. When was the last time? How many days has it been since you made the last post?
I bet it's been a while.
It's one of those things that about doing a YouTube channel or just doing content creation that you never really think about, but inakuwa ngumu consistency. Yani kuendelea tu kupost like on a daily basis. You just have content or you wake up in a mood where you're like, because at the end of the day you tell yourself this thing is easy.
You have to be on a mission.
You have to be on a mission.
Otherwise you can't make it. You just have to be on a mission and then just purpose to finish your mission.
Well, I guess we are on a mission clearly because it's another episode of the Long Shot podcast. Although it's been 10 or whatever days,
It's been
number of days.
a lot. It shouldn't have been that long.
Yeah.
No excuses for that length.
I feel like I have like tons of excuses. I know someone will say like it's not really valid when you're purposing to do a YouTube channel, but I mean, hey, me, I'm human. If I don't like doing a job where I'm hired, I mean, your employment is boring. How boring can it get when it's your own stuff and then you want to give yourself a leave off, like, you know, a day off?
Yeah.
It's very easy to give yourself a day off.
People are just so easy on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, but the world is already hard on all of us. The least you can do is like be
Just
easy.
be easy.
Be
Yeah,
easy
just chill. Yeah,
on
be
yourself.
easy
So
on yourself.
I am not about to like be going insane trying to jump off buildings because of a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. And talking about being easy, it's so hard to do that. It's like telling someone like relax and then expecting them
to just like relax. I mean, that's not how it works. You have to be in an environment or that situation where it makes you easy.
Talk about being easy.
I'm not really the best at being easy, because you know, well, the opposite of being easy is being uneasy, and that's exactly what I'm good at. Because I'm always anxious. I have anxiety issues, and I can barely keep my nails together without, you know, biting them, because I'm always on the edge. And you know what's crazy? When you're used to being on edge, when you're not on edge, you feel like everything is going wrong. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Why is life just moving perfectly fine without me being anxious? So you start getting anxious for not being anxious.
And I can imagine it must be so hard if you're just anxious, like an anxious person in nature when you're alone. Then in a relationship, there are like two people. There's this whole other human being you actually can't control. You don't like have any power over, and then you live with it.
But
it's now your life.
I feel like
is it better?
Yes, I think anxiety needs someone else who's less anxious. I feel like you are not as anxious as I am. Would you say you have anxiety?
No, I wouldn't say I have anxiety.
Yeah, if anything, I think you're so chilled when the world is on fire, and I'm like, what? You're not even panicking, but at least when you are like that, it helps me cool down or just calm down. You get? Because I'm like, you're already not even panicking, you're chilled, and maybe I'm there on edge. I'm like, hey, Sasa, what?
Well, Dinaisha.
Oh,
wow.
I'm gonna bite my fingers one by one at this point. Yeah. But I see, my anxiety is brought about by the fact that I live inside my head.
True.
You sit down and situations and incidences are just created and blown out of proportion in your own head. So you can't tell someone is anxious. People who are anxious they actually look calm. But these people are not calm in any sense.
I know that. Tell me about it.
And I was just talking about anxiety from the point of view of someone who deals with anxiety.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I can just define that feeling of being anxious, but I'm not defining it from the point of view it's been diagnosed by a doctor. Like you have chronic anxiety, like where I get
it's just like
panic attacks, it's just that I know, I'm in my head, and this is killing me.
And even though you know that, shouldn't the knowledge that you know that help it?
That you get?
That I'm just anxious, so I should just take it easy, because I'm just being anxious and I know this, so why can't I just take it easy?
You really can't really control anxiety. You get, even when you're being anxious, it takes a while before you identify and say, hey, this is anxiety that I have, because it just spirals. It starts with a simple thought like, I'm not gonna meet my deadline. And you're not gonna meet your deadline. The deadline is not yet there, but the way you're seeing things and your progress on that particular thing is like, no, I'm not going to meet this deadline. So instead of even focusing on the work now, finish the work. I'm giving an example with when I'm doing my work. You find that when I get very, very anxious, it just gets even harder to read or type. So what anxiety does is that thing that's making you anxious inakuparalyze. It makes you spend a lot more time pondering over that particular thing instead of actually getting active or doing the action that's required.
You're now just being anxious.
You're now just being anxious to the point of paralysis. Yeah.
That's what you're being. So, like, now since we're together and now you're like in a relationship and we're living together, I don't think you're like as much anxious as you were before, although you still are.
Yeah. But I guess, marriage also gives you a bit of anxiety sometimes. Yeah.
How?
Well, how would I put this? I feel kuna levels of anxiety. Anxiety is not necessarily harmful in a sense that, like, I'd want to talk to someone who really feels anxiety is crippling their life. Because me, I know I'm dealing with anxiety. It's not cool, and I don't even understand how. I just kind of pull through and do my things in the end. But I don't want to talk to someone who's dealt with chronic anxiety, maybe, to understand how bad it gets. Like, how terrible does it get. So when I'm saying like being together in marriage is also gives me some anxiety, is that, well, I mean, there are roles now I play, and there are roles you play that they're new roles, and then you feel like you need to play your role. And I'm gonna give you a silly example.
Okay.
Like, on your birthday the other day, I mean, it's your birthday and I want to surprise you, I want to do something nice. You get? Yeah. But then there's the money factor. So I knew I was gonna have money by the time it's your birthday, but before that money comes in, I'm like, is this money coming? And then now, what am I gonna do? So I delayed. Nikashikwa na anxiety. I was like, you know what? This birthday we're just gonna forgo it. I'm not gonna do anything special. The best I can do is maybe put sticky notes and say happy birthday again. But sasa after anxiety mekikin, I get money. So now I'm there trying to really overcompensate. So I ended up spending a lot more money than I intended on your birthday.
It was an amazing birthday, by the way, and I thanked you, and thank you again.
Thanks to anxiety. Should probably thank my anxieties. But then, you see, what I mean, if I had time, I'd have probably sat down and thought through how I want to spend this money. But since anxiety got me in this corner where I'm like, so what are we doing? I just want to prove a point, to myself. So, anxiety does that. So you see, that is not really damaging.
It's okay.
Although I wish I had kept a little bit of my money.
It's okay. We ate it.
They did. We moved on, and the birthday was nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah. So. And you know what's better is that I set the bar higher so that when it's my birthday, which is this month, you
oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. So in a sense, you'd say that anxiety makes your life better. You don't picture yourself in a world where you're not anxious, Like it pushes you to do things maybe sometimes. Because yours is not chronic when you're talking about maybe.
I feel like
anxiety.
I make myself anxious because I try to push myself. You know, you're the one who set the goals, you're the one who sets the limits, and then when you don't hit the goals or get to at least those limits you set, you start getting anxious. So basically, in a sense, I make myself anxious. So when I look at it that way, I'd say, yeah, it pushes me to do better in some areas. But a bad example, a really, really bad example, is that there's so many opportunities I have missed out on, so many things I could have tried and gotten in, but I never did, just because I was anxious, just because I was like, I don't think I'm there yet. You get, I'm gauging myself. I'm telling myself, you're not good enough. Maybe you need a little bit more practice. Maybe you need a little bit of this certification for you to get to get a certain opportunity. But that particular anxiety of me feeling like, makes me miss opportunities of things I could have easily just tried. Yeah. And trying doesn't cost you a thing. Like, allow yourself to fail. But my anxiety comes from the fear of failure also. Failure is just scary. It is.
It is.
Yeah, it's very scary.
I'm scared of failing though.
Anyway, which is interesting. I'm glad you don't get to deal with anxiety. I'd want to know what bit of yourself do you think you deal with, like a similar thing like I'm dealing with when I'm talking about anxiety.
I don't know, how would you think this? Like, I feel like, how would you even phrase this? I can get carried away in like my own thing, like the opposite of anxiety now. Right? So I can just start doing something and then just get carried away to a point where like time doesn't even matter now.
Oh my god.
I'm just like, what is time telling me? Nothing.
I
am the boss here, so I have that to deal with. And
like, what is that? Is it that when like you feel like you've been pushed to the corner in life, you just decide to be passive about it, unakuwa in your own world so that you avoid to deal with something? For example, I can totally explain how you zone out and just lose track of time. Like, on days when you're going to work, you'll just wake up and you'll start doing your makeup, and then you're there on the mirror, babe, and then you'll just be stuck on the laptop here. You're not even on the mirror. You're holding your, I don't know what that stuff is.
I just like to distract.
You just hold it and get distracted. And then you're not even doing your makeup. You're halfway doing your makeup, but you're not even taking it off your face. But you're not doing anything. You zone out. So what's that really? Are you always trying to avoid dealing with impending situations, like getting to places on time, for example?
No, but I do try, so I'm not that bad. But yeah, I like distracting myself from the fact that now I'm getting, especially if I'm already late. So now I'm already late. So what then now? So I can just distract myself. Don't even see. Maybe it's just something I do without even knowing, because I don't choose to distract myself. I just get distracted to a point where now it doesn't matter that I'm getting late. I'm already distracted.
Would you say that makes you like better when it comes to work under pressure, or it just makes you worse at it? Because anxiety doesn't help it when I'm under pressure. Like now, maybe when I'm under pressure and I'm anxious, shut down. Would rather just forgo this whole shit. We put an end to this thing until I am calm. Otherwise, I am not doing this thing.
Just now
I'm too anxious to do anything.
Yeah, so it really does help, because I can now choose to I don't choose to get distracted, but I can focus to do my work. And when I'm focusing, then I'm focusing.
You're focusing on what you consider important then.
Yeah.
Which is surprising, because someone would peg me, every normal person, that your job is like more important than doing this makeup or watching a movie in the morning.
But it must look nice when I'm doing that job. And when you look nice, you feel nice.
Like, we're not doing
Really
this
does,
job if you're not feeling nice. That's what
yeah,
you're saying.
you need to like feel nice about yourself. Look nice, smell nice, you know, nice.
Like the tagline, like the bottom line is nice and aligned. Alright, nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
so I feel like that's the opposite of what you deal with. But now we are perfect together. It works.
It works very well with us, because if I'm around people who are anxious, it doesn't help my anxiety. Like, someone who's anxious just keeps adding on to your anxiety. But then when you find someone who's really calm in a very terrible situation, which reminds me, no, I feel like we have been in that situation with you, whereby I was just like panicking and out of my mind, and you're like, hey, everything is gonna be cool. Calm down. Just like, what are you saying? The world is burning. Everything is just going to hell.
But some things, when they're out of your control, they're just totally out of your control. And I feel like I know that. I understand that.
You say that a lot.
No,
if it's
but
out of
like-
your control, it's. I'm like, I'm
You
trying
know,
to bring it back to control. Fix it. Can't bring the whole world together. Just come together. What's happening?
Oh yeah, no. It's not like that. It's just some things can just fly. Just don't let them go too far. Maybe it's because I'm short and I've just learned. Because I can't even reach high places. So I guess those are also out of my control.
You're used to
So,
having
it's like-
things out of your control, babe. I mean, oh my god, Mimi, I don't know how I deal. But I really panic, and
Hey, so
but it's also what helps me to get my work done, because you realize I'm always like, if you remember, there were times I used to call you a lot and be like, hey, I feel like I'm not gonna finish this work, I'm tired, I'm scared, and then I always ended up finishing my work. Yeah, but the anxiety used to get me at least to do it. But there are days when I'd really panic. I mean, like, time imeisha, I don't see the point. Like, I have failed. What's the point? Why continue? I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to let this thing go and forget I even did it. That's just me.
okay, so what's different now that we are in a relationship? But
Well, I get to tell you when I'm anxious
yeah, you do.
a lot.
Yeah.
And then you're really good at those two advices, like let it go, like just calm down, just like chill, and then yeah, you're really good at making me almost like forget about it. Thing is, I still have to deal with anxiety, because sometimes you're not there to tell
Yeah,
me
I
this
really wish
shit.
I could help you with that, but I guess something out of my control.
Like,
I can't help you with that.
I get, yeah, and sometimes you're also busy working, so I don't know if I want to tell you if I'm anxious. I just want to deal with it myself.
Yeah,
But I just feel like anxiety is a very broad topic. Like, if it's like something people can talk about every single day, because every day you deal with a different kind of anxiety.
is it what?
Yeah, you do. It's always things that you think they're not gonna happen, they happen, and then something new comes up, and you know.
Yeah. It's nice, and you've also been so great. Now these are not like we are late because you're doing your makeup and you're taking too long, and I'm always like,
Well,
I'm hardly ever doing makeup. I don't even
Let's just-
contour or
let's-
like apply blush
let's just
or anything.
agree on this. Like, ever since we've got married, I've just become a little bad with time because of you.
That's not true.
It's kind of true, because I mean, I don't rush you anymore when we're going somewhere, and I'm like, because if you rush us, you might get mad, and nobody wants to start that talk of, no, okay, calm down, I'm
But
sorry.
we went to church on time, babe.
Yeah, you try nowadays, and I also don't try that hard. I mean, I wear my pants the last thing when I'm leaving the house.
Yeah.
So I've learned to like calm down, just let her take her time, and then you know what? When we're about to leave, if anything, I think I'm the one who's late nowadays. It is like sijavaa viatu. I mean, you're always waiting for me at the door now, which is
That's
just
getting
much easier.
better.